climbing the ranks, rhyming with grace. Never shown signs of restraint when trying to be great. Put my soul into these records, I'm refining my taste. My mind is a bank of pure gems, diamond case. Look, your man's prolific, go ask a critic. The answer's written in blood on the plaques and ribbons. The plan specific, hustle and surpass my limits. I live a rock star lifestyle, bands come with it. Come on, pursue a couple accolades and then proceed to kill. I make your favorite rapper change how they perceive skill. The money coming in so fast, don't gotta read the bills. And labels flashing money at me like I need a mill. Jesus, guess they didn't know that they was dealing with a genius. 800 racks out of my bedroom, not prestigious. Never seen this hunger with this level of achievement. Look inside the bank, it ain't no wonder I'm conceited. Got me a crib, I'm about to get 2 to 5 more. When a hustler winning, they never scrutinize yours. When a man in the mirror told me pursue the right cause, I went from suicidal to the suicide doors.
Your legacy, like your master's, was one of death and destruction.
In Home 1, this is Fulcrum Repeat. Do you read us? Over.
Allow me to reiterate how nonsensical it is, or at least the internet tells me, for Sabine to be using a Rebels-era codename the Empire is already more than aware of thanks to Thrawn and Agent Kallus.
That's actually a good point. Damn, I did not expect this video to start off well, but they can occasionally put together a coherent sin.
If we can't make the journey to find Ezra, then no one should.
That is, far and away, the creepiest "if I can't have him, you can't either" I've ever heard.
Cool, and it's a mistake of the episode because... Seriously, this sin had nothing of value. It wasn't a joke and it wasn't a legitimate criticism, so what the hell was the point of it?
Be stranded out there. Maybe this time for good.
Better that than allowing Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
But Thrawn could escape even if just Sabine and Ahsoka try to go get Ezra. So if Ahsoka is this concerned about Thrawn and willing to leave Ezra out there forever already, then why isn't the plan to just destroy the map ball and move on with their lives Ezra free?
Because they would rather get Ezra back, and it's possible to get him back without Thrawn getting back? I mean, just think about what you're saying for a second. You think people who have a strong bond with someone who is stranded would just be perfectly okay with leaving him there without even trying to get him back. Have you ever had any emotions?
Bean.
Ahsoka doing that thing your mom does when she waits for you to walk away before telling you to do something else.
Discount Jeremy doing that thing nobody wants him to do when he points things out on the screen.
Master, we received word.
Better than receiving Acceler access, I guess.
That fake-ass laugh. Also, that cringe-worthy joke was worthy of cringe.
That daft droid made it worse.
First of all, rude. Second of all, you crash landed in enemy territory after being shot down, and this is your first thought?
What do you mean by enemy territory? This planet isn't controlled by the Empire. One particular part of it is being temporarily used by the Empire. They have no reason to suspect that there are enemies hunting them in the forest. As far as they know, they escaped the dogfight and their position is unknown.
I'm not just gonna sit around and do nothing, Lieutenant.
I've heard that there are 4 seasons of Star Wars Rebels that, at least on occasion, tell a very different version of that statement.
But you can't leave without authorization.
Lieutenant wants the audience to be shocked that one of the characters on a show called Rebels is now rebelling.
Discount Jeremy uses something from Rebels when he complained about having to watch Rebels to understand this show in a previous episode. This is hypocritical, and as we all know, hypocrisy is hypocritical.
Thanks for joining the party, Carson.
Wouldn't miss it, General.
Name dropping this random officer means that I should already know who he is and what other Star Wars related material I've seen him in, but I shouldn't have to know who he is to understand a scene. Quit pulling this crap, Ahsoka.
You know, you actually don't need to know who Carson is to understand this scene. That's ludicrous. In order to understand the scene, you just need to be watching it. Hera is disobeying orders to go help Ahsoka and crew with a few New Republic pilots. That's it. Besides, as I've said a million times, if you don't want to watch the content that's available to you, you don't have the right to complain about it because it's your fault for not knowing the context. You can watch every single Star Wars property for free on any device that has access to the internet. It's really not that difficult.
Have faith.
Faith. I lost that a long time ago.
No, I think you're getting that confused with the inability to have an erection without the aid of a pill or a viewing of a lightsaber battle.
Discount Jeremy makes a cringy boner joke that isn't funny cliche.
Keep hoping that this ball will turn into a phantasm ball and
Skip.
Witchcraft.
Sure, Baylan, because as history has taught us, immediately assuming someone's involved in witchcraft always ends well, and no one gets set on fire or hung from the rafters. And then said things that never happened wouldn't also inspire a playwright to create a 16th century set play about witches that was, in fact, a direct metaphor for the McCarthy hearings and the Red Scare. That would never. So I can't think of a worse thing to do before a big battle than sprint for a full click and a half.
I mean, sprinting gets your adrenaline up, so it's actually not that bad to do before a fight.
Let me first shed my cloak so you'll know that I'm very serious about this upcoming lightsaber battle, because otherwise you might think I'm only partially invested in these festivities.
What was the point of this sin? It wasn't a legitimate criticism, so I have to then assume it was supposed to be a joke, but it wasn't funny in the slightest, so why is it in the video? Did they just want to communicate the fact that Discount Jeremy doesn't understand why people wear cloaks or something?
My favorite part of lightsaber battles is when they walk around in a circle and stare into each other's eyes. I mean, who needs actual lightsabering in a lightsaber battle when you have staring and circular stepping?
Jesus Christ, the reason people do this before engaging in a duel is to size up their opponent and test their opponent's movement. If you begin circling your opponent, you can observe how they respond to your movements.
You see, weeks of rampant speculation about Marok secretly being Ezra or some other Padawan, only to have it revealed he's nothing more than excess gas in his suit.
Yeah, I agree with this, Sin. I was expecting way more from this pretty cool character.
Never mentioned you.
Well, you see, Ahsoka, that's because while you may have a 15-year-old history, they need to invent a mysterious new antagonist for your show that they could say has always been in a galaxy far, far away. It's a nifty little trick the writers use called Vader's dead and we need a new villain before Kylo shows up.
Or you could have just listened to the reason Baylan gives for never having been mentioned, which makes sense in the context of the show, but cool, removing the show's reason definitely makes it easier to come up with bullshit sins.
Jedi has engaged Lord Baylan at the Hen.
How long until we receive the final coordinates?
Moments.
Moments of convenience.
Okay, and could you explain how it's convenient? Could you give some evidence for your claim? If not, then this sin shouldn't be in the video.
Why fight so hard to get a little metal ball? If you want to delay Morgan, just destroy the transmitter beaming coordinates to her ship. Look at this giant metal box. That'd be way easier to destroy than grabbing the map source in the middle of a fight.
Ahsoka wants to destroy the map because that's the key to this whole thing. Destroying the transmitter would only serve to delay them because if they still had the map, they could just acquire a different transmitter. Ahsoka is trying to end this conflict once and for all.
You have no power.
Are you sure? Because she's doing the hand thing.
And you're ignoring the fact that when Sabine did the hand thing, nothing happened.
I don't know why Jedis don't use the Force all the time. It wouldn't make for great TV, I get that, but throwing assholes into rocks would be my opening move, my finishing move, and my middle move. And I might sprinkle in a ripping of someone's spine out of their body. What, does it make them tired? Only Grogu looks tired when he uses it, and he's a baby. Is there a meter so we can see the degrees of Force each Jedi has left?
Jesus Christ, you should really start paying attention to the things you watch. We're shown time and again throughout the Star Wars universe that A, it takes effort to use the Force, so yes, it's physically tiring, and B, it's not that easy to use the Force against other Force-sensitive people. What I mean by that is that Force-sensitives, at least the more experienced ones, can use the Force to repel Force attacks. In other words, Ahsoka can't just push or pull Baylan in this scene because he would resist any power she tries to exert over him.
I get her hand is hurting, but Ahsoka dual wields lightsabers all the time, which means she should be better equipped at fighting one-handed more than just about anyone.
She is, but like you just said, her hand is hurting. How can you contradict your own sin during the sin? It's kind of impressive.
Your family died on Mandalore because your master didn't trust you.
Wait, no. Wikipedia tells me that Ahsoka had nothing to do with Sabine's parents dying. That was all Moff Gideon and the Night of a Thousand Tears. And we haven't been given a flashback before now that establishes otherwise. Why is this exchange?
Baylan is using this wild, completely unheard of technique called lying. I know that nobody has ever lied before in the history of humanity, so this scene is very hard to understand, but Baylan is just trying to turn Sabine against Ahsoka. He's not telling her the truth. He's being manipulative.
No one will be following us.
Except for the ex-Jedi who Indiana Jones the map into her hand. But other than her, yeah, no one's going to be following you.
Why did you keep this idiotic sin in the video? Like, yeah, Ahsoka does end up following them, but Baylan has no way of knowing that beforehand. This sin is just really stupid. Also, Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture ref.
Oh, wow, I can't believe they're using this place in the live-action series that I absolutely recognize and is super-duper meaningful to me. I loved it from that one cartoon where they did the cartoon stuff. Hooray for callbacks that we all very much get and aren't frustrated by at all.
Yet again, if you don't get something, it's your fault, not the show's fault. I know you think you have valid points because your fanboys mindlessly agree with everything you say, but that's only because they don't have the mental capacity to think for themselves. These sins are incredibly stupid. From now until the end of the show, any sin where he blames the show for his own refusal to watch some piece of context will get 10 sins.
Master?
Maybe she thinks this is the young Anakin who trained her, and I'm sure she still has great memories attached to that Anakin. However, it still feels like this franchise is trying to rehabilitate a serial killer who killed f***ing children, and I'll never be able to get past that. Nor should I have to.
But as you just said, she has good memories attached to the younger Anakin. And since she is the one having this near-death experience, everything is from her perspective. Besides, in the very next episode, we see the mix between good Anakin and Darth Vader, so your complaints are dumb and pointless.
That was easy.